So welcome back, and today's topic will be cell and its function. I have a diagram actually of a cell. So let's identify each of them, the parts of it. The first here is the cell membrane, or it is also known as plasma membrane. The second here is the cytoplasm. Then in the cell, we have the nucleus. The nucleus has three parts in it. The first here is the nuclear membrane. The second is the nucleolus, and the third will be the nucleoplasm. So this all constitutes our nucleus. Now we know that protoplasm constitutes of cytoplasm and nucleus. So it has five parts in it. So first is our water. In water, there are cellular chemical reactions taking place. So how they are present? Either they are present as in the dissolved form, or they are present in the solid particulate form. So the water almost is 70 to 85% in the cell itself. The second will be the ions. Now, which ions are present in our body, in the cell, sorry, that is potassium, magnesium, phosphate, sulfate, bicarbonate, sodium, and in small amount, sodium, calcium, and chloride. Why are they necessary? They are necessary for cellular control mechanism. For example, they are required for transmission in electrochemical messenger in the nerve fibers and the muscle fibers. Hence, they are really necessary in the transmission of messages. Now the third is lipids. Lipids constitute of 2% only. They are fat solvent. We have phospholipids and cholesterol in our body. They are insoluble in water, and they are the component of cell membrane and intracellular fluid. Cell membrane and intracellular fluid. Another component will be the triglycerides. Triglycerides, also known as neutral fat, they are present in almost 95% in the fat cells, which is also known as adipocytes. They represents the storehouse of energy giving nutrients. Since why do we say them as energy giving nutrients? Well, because sometimes we are on fasting, we do not get glucose. So our body uses fat. The fat which present inside the cell is triglyceride. The next is the carbs. Carbs provide cell nutrition, like in our food also, that carbohydrates provide us with nutrition as well. So same thing for the cell also, that is, they provide the cell with the nutrition, and they have a structural function as a part of glycoprotein. Well, they are not present in large stores, but they are only present up to 1%. But in liver, they are present up to 6%. In muscle cells, they are present up to 3%. So how it is available to all the cells? They are available in the form of dissolved glucose. And in another form, they are present as an insoluble polymer, that is the glycogen. So the glycogen is an insoluble polymer right now. When the body requires it, it depolymerizes and it is rapidly used by the cells. Now, the last one is the proteins. Proteins are almost 10 to 20%. So the first was water, the second is protein, that is abundant in nature. Then after that, we should say lipids and other things. There are two types of proteins, that is structural proteins and functional proteins. Structural proteins are the long polymers of individual molecules, whereas functional proteins are the proteins which are present in tubular globular form of few molecules chain. So the structural are present as a long filament, and functional are present as tubular globular form. So structural proteins are present in the form of microtubules. They will provide the cytoskeleton to the cilia, nerve axons, and even to the mitotic spindle. They are also present as fibrillar protein, for example in collagen, the connective tissue, the elastin area. Then we will have it in blood vessel walls also. Whereas the functional proteins, they act as enzymes. They act as enzyme. They are comparatively to the fibrillar protein are motile. They catalyze specific intracellular chemical reactions. Catalyze specific intracellular chemical reactions. Now here once again I have a diagram of the cell, which has the cell membrane or the plasma membrane, the nucleus, the nucleolus, the rough endoplasmic reticulum, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Further, there is Golgi apparatus. Then we have the microtubule. There is peroxisome, lysosomes, mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Then we have the ribosome and the main constituent, that is the cytoplasm. In this video, we will talk about the cell membrane in depth. So, cell membrane or plasma membrane, it is made up of phospholipid bilayer. That means there is circular head that is hydrophilic in nature and the purple lines that is hydrophobic in nature. So now by this we can understand it is selectively permeable in nature. It will not take water directly, but it will take all the fat soluble substance like oxygen, carbon dioxide, alcohol. They cross easily over here. The other components of the cell membrane are the proteins, lipids, and carbs. The protein constitute of 55%. It is of two types, peripheral and integral. The lipids is of total is 42%. So they include phospholipids, sphingolipid, and cholesterol. Sphingolipids are generally abundant in plasma membrane and in the nerve cells, whereas the carbs, that is glycoprotein and the glycolipid. Why they are said glycoprotein? Because the carbohydrates are attached into the proteins, so they are called as glycoproteins. And if they're attached to the lipids, that is by bilayer of the phospholipids, hence they are called glycolipid then. Now let's look at the diagram again. Here in the blue, I have the integral protein. This integral protein acts as a channel, carrier, or pumps for the transport of water molecules. Hence, there can be three processes going on: active, passive, and facilitated. Now, the other protein is the peripheral protein. Peripheral protein act as an enzyme or signal transduction. Then, the integral protein also has one more function which I forgot to mention is these are the receptor for water soluble chemicals. The water soluble chemicals can be the peptide hormones. We have the lipids, that is phospholipids, which I have already mentioned, and cholesterol. Now, the carbs which are attached to the protein is called the glycoprotein. They are the membrane protein. So, what do they do? They do cell recognition and bind to the receptor also. And whereas glycolipid, they they help in stability of membrane and they help in cell to cell communication. Some of the carbohydrates protrudes outside the ECF, that is called the glycocalyx. So that's all for today.